Good morning, YouTube. How's it going? Man, I'm looking like a wild man. So, you guys are doing well. Miss Carrie's at work. Drinking some black coffee. And doing a review. Let's see what we got. This is a French roast. So, my 4-1 here, Stanwell. Smoking some Drexel number 8. I think I cut it off, but Drexel number 8, which is a Virginia Prairie Flake. Nice, pretty flake. Tin note is kind of a light, generic Virginia Prairie blend. Some citrusy notes, and some kind of sugary plum from the Perique. It smells a little bit more sugary now that it's out here. When I first cracked it, it was very, very spicy Perique. Now, if you have something like Formers, which I've been enjoying this. This is their straight grain flake, which is a Virginia Perique as well. But it smells so different. You know, because this is dark Virginias and pressed differently, maybe. Nice rugged flake. But this smells, oh my gosh, it smells like nice and bready and sweet, some sugar notes, almost like when I first smelled it, it almost smelled like barley to me. I had to get another one. It smells so good. Formers might be my favorite brand so far out of them all. Their crosscut green flake, delicious. Really light on the Perique, very natural, sweet Virginia. So when I have a sugar tooth, I've been thinking about that one. Yeah, and then I tried Former straight grain flake the other day, and it was like off of the light. It was boom. With the match still going, I was like, I like this. Okay, but that review's for later. This one is for Drexel number 8. After the light, tasted pretty good. I'm gonna relight it. Actually, let me use my butane there. Actually won this lighter with this pipe, Jetline. So it takes, a little rough. It takes a flame real nice, and you have to babysit it. Kind of, it's like a half babysit, because it will stay lit. Really thick smoke output. But if you set it down to talk like I did, then it goes out, which is so weird. But it doesn't burn too hot. So on the retro, it's really smooth. When it first lit, it was a little rough on the edges. Retro Hell has like this subdued hay sweetness. You get some darkness, like stoned fruit from the Perique. But everything is just kind of muted. So imagine, think of one of like your favorite foods, right? And if you burn it, it has a different profile to it, but it also kind of mutes You know, the biggest thing for me is like I'm going to use an example of like brown sugar. Like if you caramelize it or burn it, then you can still taste those traits and those profiles, but then there's like this muted darkness, right? I guess you can call it richness, but I wouldn't really call this rich at all. Like it, when I lit it, I thought it was going to be a really great smoke. Aftertaste is, for me, not that favorable, and it's almost just quite there, right? It's kind of like a Walmart brand of one of your favorite foods. Like it's got the idea, and honestly, the biggest selling point was the price. Excuse my bedhead. Um, and it's just not quite the same, you know, like a Walmart pizza, like Equate pizza. So this is a general job description. I get some citrus and some hay from the Virginias, and the Perique has, in the first part of the bowl, I loaded one flake and it wasn't quite all the way, smaller flake. And I just folded it in half and rolled it and then stuck it in. Yeah, I guess I pretty much described it as best as I can. It's that I was hoping for more hay, sweeter Virginia, a little more complex, deeper Perique, like a rounded plum sweetness with like that pepper, and it probably reached about maybe a 5.5 out of 10 for each of those. Is it the worst tobacco I've had? Not by far. There's a lot better ones though, in that same price range, I would say. Switch up temperature. If there was like some weird end of times tobacalypse that we're all cellaring and preparing for, I would like it more than something like Borkum Riff. But just by slightly. I actually didn't mind Borkum Riff all that much when I tried it. I have to do a review on that. But there's other cheap blends, old blends, OTC blends that are by far better, I would argue, for my palate. And if you really like Virginias and Virginia Periques, you know, this will do the job. This would be really good for like amusing work, right? Something you don't have to think about. If you're gonna be cleaning out the garage, cutting the grass, and you don't want a cigar. Now, see, a lot of people say that about Codger blends, about OTCs like Carter Hall, and I would argue highly against that. Carter Hall, that's just one example, right? Carter Hall is one I like to sit down and enjoy, load, and experience the pipe as much as the tobacco and the flavors, where this one, it's just muted and subtle enough to be in the background, like background music. So if a bunch of stuff went away and it's the only thing I could get, yeah, I would smoke it. It's just that something like this would probably encourage me to smoke less. I would just keep it and have it once in a while, where something like Formers for me is something that probably not too good, but it would encourage me to want more, right? And like I really enjoy that line. So anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Aftertaste not that great. The first time I did smoke it, it was in an estate bulldog. I probably didn't clean the pipe as well as I should have. It did bite me, but that was also fresh out the bag. It's a pouch. That's another thing. It's a little interesting. These come in pouches, and there's 2 stacks of the cut flakes. So that was pretty cool. Another cool factor, I guess. But fresh out the bag and in an estate pipe, no filter. It did bite me pretty good. It's been aging for a little over a year, I think, and it's really smooth. I pushed it kind of hard to try to get flavors, and it didn't bite this time. And yeah, so it's a decent tobacco for the price. You can't complain at all. There you go. That's my review for Drexel's number 8 Virginia Perique Pouch Flake. Would I buy it again? I don't know. I was thinking of, when I cracked it open, buy another bag or 2 to sell her, but honestly, I'd much rather sell her something like M4 Original, which is another really good, not flake, it's a really good blend that I've been enjoying a lot. Quickly, I probably won't do a review on this one, so I'll just show you, but kind of compare. Yesterday, I had a sample I found a couple of days ago, actually, of Comoy's number 7 Flake, which Virginia Perique Cavendish, much like Peter Stokkebye's Bullseye. And I was a little disappointed when I first got it. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was really soft. It was too subtle. The Virginias and the Periques, there was really not a lot of flavor that stood out. It was just kind of like hot air to me in the Virginia Perique version. Very unimpressed. I had that the very first time I smoked it too, which has been over a year, so it's been aged, and I rehydrated it. So I actually found it a few days ago and hydrated it like a day and a half. I thought it was going to be really good, and just didn't care for it. So I would smoke Drexel over the number 7 slices. And randomly, I did order Bullseye Flake Peter Stokkebye a couple years ago, and I can't find it. I'm wondering if I gave them to my dad, maybe, which I don't recall doing. And I wish I kept at least some of it, or didn't lose it. I don't know which one, but I might do an order. So I was trying these because you can buy them in bulk, and I wanted a seller in bulk. I was thinking about, talking about this a lot, sorry guys, about doing maybe one more big order, but I was thinking of like seller in big, not tin. So that was my thought on trying those again. Overall, a little underwhelming, and sometimes I just feel like, oh, I wasted a pipe. But it won't be too bad because I'll figure something else out. Anyway, alright, I'll leave it there, you guys. Smoke something good, take care, be safe, I love you all, and I'll catch you later.